Hey Jimmy, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little about the scene with Alpha at the border when Carol takes her shot?
It was really cool because that was the first time I got to work on set with Samantha Morton, and I've been a big fan of hers for a couple of years. She does a lot of good work, and watching her in that one scene, it was really intense, especially with Carol. She was really pulling off the shaking vibe, for her being up all those hours, taking those coffee pills. It was a really fun scene to shoot. And it was also easy for me to get in character, especially with how crazy that scene turned out.
What was auditioning like for you?
This is something that kind of bothers me a lot because there's a lot of background extras that will have you believe that we audition to do our roles, and that is far from the truth. We answer emails. They send out castings for extras looking for 18 to 40-year-olds to be in a party scene. And all we had to do was just, send in our name, our age, and height and everything, and then they just pick from a bunch of people, and that's it. So the only time you have to audition is you have some kind of lines, or if they're looking for something specific, like we need somebody who knows how to dance salsa, then you just can't pick just anybody. Somebody has to either show you on tape, but if it's just something where I'm walking by in the background, just walking past camera, then no, there's no audition needed for that.
How would you like to see the Whisperer War come to an end?
Being a fan of the comic books, it kind of ends in a little bit of a whimper. So, I like a big battle, big crescendo between us and Hilltop, Alexandria, the Kingdom. On a personal note, I like to go one-on-one with Beta.
What's a full day of shooting like for you?
I would say on average, a day of shooting for us is between 10 to about 14 hours. I've been on set as long as 18 hours, and I've been on set as short as like 30 minutes.
Who do you think's been the most terrifying villain on this show so far?
Beta. If I was in this apocalypse for real, he's the only person that if I would have seen him would have given me pause, would have terrified me.
What character would you bring back from the dead if you could?
This might be kind of unpopular, considering most people would say somebody like Herschel or Glenn or Abraham. I would like to see Beth come back. Beth was, what is the thing they always say, Talking Dead, the moral compass of the show, but she was like the last moral compass of the show. So I just remember her death hit me harder than pretty much anybody's because it almost made no sense. It was such an unnecessary death, and I remember the show just, to me, felt darker.
Are you currently listening to any podcasts?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of sports podcasts. I'm a sports guy. I mean, come on. I kind of been listening to a little bit of a comedian's podcast, Annie Lederman's. It's very rough around the edges, but I think she's hilarious. And also I had a friend put me onto Whitney Cummings' podcast, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I listen to.
Have you ever heard of Squawking Dead?
I heard about it when I met you at Walker Stalker. So, we talked, we got along, and hey, here I am. Here I am. I don't know what just happened.
If you could take one character from any other show and place them on The Walking Dead, who would it be?
Jack Bauer, because he's Jack Bauer.
Gonna come at you with a few rapid fire questions. Off the top of your head, first instinct. Negan or Beta?
Beta, because he's one scary son of a bitch.
Daryl or Aaron?
I like Aaron. Most everybody gonna go Daryl. I like Aaron. If you're in an apocalypse, do you want to be around somebody who just always brooding and running off into the trees with his dog, not hanging around with everybody? I mean, you could trust Daryl, but dude, Aaron is always looking on the bright side, and he got a cool wooden arm. Aaron, come on.
Carol or Alpha?
Carol, she bakes cookies.
Gloves or mittens? I
would put on some gloves and slap any man who's wearing mittens.
Sanctuary or Woodbury?
I'm a former savior. I lived in a sanctuary. Come on, home away from home.
Wow, thanks so much, Jimmy. That was just absolutely amazing. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day and answering a few questions for us.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this. Hope everybody enjoyed listening to me ramble, and I have no idea why my fingers are so long like Arsenio Hall's, but thank you.
Thanks everybody for joining us. I hope you had a great time.